What's happening, people? Welcome back to the chat. You can't really swear much in the intro, otherwise it gets demonetized. So the chat get cancelled podcast. All I want to say is if you can give the wee show a rating on Spotify specifically. I'm trying to reach 200 by Christmas, which isn't looking very likely.
29
like
to go, guys. Come on.
Come on!
28. Yes, come on. Yeah, that's it. Come on.
I'll make a new Spotify on my new phone now.
And
Right,
you
55
should
stars
do
for
that as well.
Aye.
I don't really have anything else to say. This is a chat about for new PTs, for PTs that are maybe struggling. I know one of the biggest reasons people, because I've been told this, by the way, one of the biggest reasons people are going on with business mentors is because they have a bad month or two and they might be in coaching for like 2 or 3 years. This stuff's going to help you way more than all of that.
Yeah.
And also not
absolutely.
skin you because it's absolutely free. So we're just doing some helpful podcasts for personal trainers. And it's also probably interesting for anyone, to be honest. It's probably interesting for clients, potential people that are wanting to hire PTs and stuff. So hope you enjoy it. We're going to do maybe like 3, 4, 5, I don't know. We'll see how we got on, but we'll maybe do them every 2 or 3 weeks. So yeah, just rate the show. That's all I want to say. Just rate it. If you listen to it and don't rate it, I'm going to find out where you live and I'm going to
Stab you.
I'm going to take your phone off you and rate my podcast.
Good. I like it. That's what I'll get. I
Enjoy
was
the
need to
show.
start doing that.
Catches. Dale yesterday was trying to like be relatable to the youth, right?
No chance.
Yeah.
Young ones.
He's fucked.
He was just basically talking about like some youths that he knows, and that's like above 18, by the way. That's not like young children.
Yeah, it's no minors.
Paint me as a pedo.
that's not nonce chat, right? And he just went, I don't know, man, it must have been like a baller move. I was like, what did you just say? And he was like, aye, that must be one of the baller moves.
No, what I was saying was
No, you did.
they think in their eyes it's a baller move. I can't even. What was I even talking about? I can't even remember.
Can I
what
say
it
it?
Who
was.
are we talking about?
Can't remember.
Cigars.
Oh, aye, cigar.
Oh, right.
So Kyle Jack obviously loves smoking a cigar and that sort of stuff. And remember when we had Jack on?
Aye, he was
He's like, can I spark a cigar? And honestly, he was like, aye, of course you can. I'm like, no, you can't.
I didn't think he was going to do it in here. I thought we were going to do it outside.
He wants to get on board with it.
Did we speak about as well what James said to my missus the first time he met her?
No, that was after. That was before this last time.
I know we've both.
It was 2 weeks ago we last done that, innit?
I know we've all heard this, but just the fact, one of the first things.
Aye, you have.
You have. Within 2 seconds of meeting my missus, he goes like that. So do you smash the gym?
Fucking damn right. Mate, I want to know who I'm chatting
But not
to.
even like an
He's
ironic.
like, what's your goals? Oh, sorry, wait, you're already taken. It just goes into automatic.
Aye.
Keep that form back.
Obviously for you. Oh, fuck, your Gavin's missus in
Aye,
it.
sorry, aye, just female things. That's just what I
Just
do.
fill that in anyway. I'll get to Gavin. But it wasn't even in an ironic way. He was generally like, it was the first I'd left them two, and I went to look at something, and I just went, I
It's
just
like
heard
2
them,
seconds.
heard them say it. So just smash the gym, and she's like, I go.
We needed to figure out what the conversation was going to go like.
Well, you got to ask her her deadlift.
Aye, fucking damn right. What's your deadlift?
I was actually trying to watch her, and so I went to the gym with her for the first time, and she wouldn't do it in front of me.
Really?
How'd you know?
No, I
To
know
be fair,
she could.
I would imagine that being quite.
Intimidating.
Aye, because you're the PT. you know.
Ah, yeah,
I know,
she
but
will.
I was like, let me see one set, just one.
Wrong.
That's what I was gonna do. That's what I was
How
gonna
you
do.
been doing? You need to start smashing the gym.
You'll be like your dad, fucking
Yeah.
the way fixing the car, won't you?
Shite. But I was just because I think she can deadlift quite a lot, but she wouldn't do it in front of me.
How did your dad find the night we were us? We met the big man.
That's his natural habitat, I think. Like watching like boxing or something. Did you see that?
Full of
There was
testosterone.
so that fight at the end where that guy his face was all bloody.
Aye.
All his mates were coming round him. My dad get caught in like the circle. And
Your dad's like, yes!
the guy's face was bloody. My dad was like away from him. He was like that. Like, trying to get away from his face. But I enjoyed it. Aye.
That was good.
See, before we get into this, do you know he phoned me this morning? This is the most random fucking Dale, what's happening? I was expecting, I'm going to be late. It wasn't that.
The usual.
No, it wasn't that. He was like, I need your help. And I was like, fuck, James never asked for help. I was like, you're right. He's like, aye. He's like, I'm driving behind somebody with my full beam on and I don't know how to turn it off. I'm like,
I don't know how I turned it on. I was like, see, because as I was talking about,
I said to her, I was like, come again? I was like, can you just repeat what you said?
I'd actually parked up because at this point I was like, I can't drive with my full beam on anymore.
He's a different animal for singing.
It's the calls, man. I'm blaming.
I was like that. So he's like, how do you turn yours on? I was like, I had to think about it. I was like, I pressed the lever forward, and he went, oh aye, that's it. Cheers, mate. See you soon.
Got it spot on, man. Man, the man knows how to drive.
Flicked it back. That's it. So you couldn't leave because of that. Just sitting there with full beams in somebody's front room, just like that. Can't leave?
No, I just turned my lights off and went, right, I'll wait for somebody.
I was
to tell me.
expecting like a proper mechanical fault with these cars. He's like, it's about my car, and I'm like, right. And he's like, so I've got my full beam on. And I'm like, how's the full beam stopping you?
Mate, as I said, I woke up this morning, I was like, see what that's called? I don't feel, but see, once I woke up, I'm sound. See, first thing, feels like I've been shot. Right? And I was driving, I was like, I don't know how I done that, but I don't know how to turn it off either.
You're just looking at the wee icon. Like,
Mate, I was looking at that. I was behind somebody, I kept turning my lights on and off. I'm like, I was like, why is this full beam not turning off? I was like, hold on, I'm going to pull it in. So I pulled it in and I was like, where's the wee, like, because I could see.
Just imagine him like pressing the hazards and then turning the radio on. Nope.
I could see the symbol. I was only sitting there for like 30 seconds. I was like, you know what? There's no point in my brain trying to do this now because it's no function. Hi.
Let me phone Dale. No Google. Let me phone Dale.
Nah, fuck Google, man. See, sometimes Google will tell you like, when there's a mad shit, like your motor's broke. I'm like, no, my lights just are turned on.
See what's wrong with my car?
What, the petrol thing?
Every time I put petrol in it, just like there's just a litre on the floor.
I don't think that's something you go about just ignoring, mate.
No.
I don't think it's not like
I'm convinced just around the Lanarkshire and Glasgow area there is just big puddles of petrol and everywhere that I'm parking.
So see, I've got a problem with mine, but it's similar to yours, but it's not the same. So when you figure out yours, it's going to tell me what the problem with mine is, right? So I got to put petrol in, it just cuts off straight away. So I only get like 30 pence in at a time. So I'm just like, boop, boop, boop. Boop.
You're kidding.
And then you put another bit in the full beams. Come on.
That was wrong. But so is that what happened with yours?
This happened to me the other day where I tried to put it in and nothing was coming out.
What?
What?
I had to put it. That's never happened to me, but I went like that and it was, the thing.
It clicks.
Oh, it clicks.
And it goes to zero because it's obviously you. And then I went to.
Sometimes that's if you're using the diesel in your petrol.
I wasn't doing that.
Right, cool.
No, I'm alright with that as well.
You've done that before?
No.
I've
actually generally never, but it's only bad if you put a petrol on a diesel.
So I've put petrol into my diesel, but I put £5 and I was like, oh, shit, I'm using the wrong one. And I re-racked it. And then I took the diesel and I tried to dilute it by filling the diesel. But obviously I've put it back so it stops it. They expect me to pay the £5 or whatever. And the guy comes with a tannoid. He's like, what are you doing? And I was like, I put the wrong fuel in my car. Can you just accept this? And he's like, you need to pay for the £5.
Then go back.
Then go back. And I was like,
but you can't do a runner, mate.
I was like, no, I can't run. I was like, use petrol in my diesel. Thankfully, that was all right though.
Aye.
Like, really fuck up your car.
Aye, no, it can. It can fuck up your filter.
About me in the moped. In Bali, no.
Oh, you told it on our podcast actually.
Did I?
Was that, what was it you done it? Fucking.
So I just got there and I'd only been driving for like about a week before I went to Bali, so I'd had two horrendous experiences trying to fill my own car up. I went up to Loch Lomond one time, and the first time I ever filled up my car was in one of those self-service ones.
Right,
so you actually have to like tap your card, and then it says you can pay £100.
How long ago did you
I
pass
was
your
like,
test?
I don't even know which one goes in my car because see the super unleaded. I was like phoning my dad. Can I go in my car? Like the blue or the green or what is the red?
The red black one.
And the woman came out and she was shouting at me to like hurry up and not be on my phone and all that. And I was like, listen, I've never filled up my car. But anyway, I done that one. And then when I went to Bali, there was like 50 mopeds in front of me, and the full time I was just sitting there like, I was getting so mate, I was about to have a panic attack about
because what they put in.
Because usually all the other ones they were like doing it for you. Whereas this one, they were just letting you go up to it, and I was like, I don't know.
Look at what everybody else.
And it was also in a foreign language, so I didn't know. It was like petrolite, and I was like, is petrolite diesel? I was like, it sounds like petrol.
Starting to really overthink it now.
Like when your brain just goes like in a million thoughts.
Irrational.
Anyway, I go up to the moped. The guy hands me one. I stick it in, and then I just stick it in. I look at the price and I'm like, I don't know what any of that is. So, because it's obviously it goes
numbers.
up absolutely rapid, right? So I'm like, what the fuck is coming up on the screen? And I'm like, I have no idea when do I stop? Anyway, the guy starts pissing himself laughing at me. I'm like, what the fuck is this? All I'm doing is looking at the thing. Anyway, my moped, because obviously the tank's like
Tiny.
it's probably like 100th of the size of the car tank. Within 5 seconds, it's full. So I've been sitting there for 20 seconds and there's just a fountain coming out the top of my moped. And then the only reason I notice is because it starts slamming me in the face. And I just turn round. Aaron's sitting there pissing himself, like absolutely pissing himself. The guys are all pissing themselves. There's about 10 people watching me. And I'm like that, trying to put the cap and that on. And then I was jet lagged out my mind. Like genuinely, like even on the way there, I'd been hallucinating when I was on the moped. Like, and Aaron slags me for this because he was like, "Oh, he says he was hallucinating." Mate, I get see when I'm jet lagged, it's like having like 1 hour sleep. I was like,
delirious.
it was genuinely like being on something. Anyway, Aaron calls me. I can say the word right, so it comes from someone else. He called me a retard, right?
Whoa!
I said this in the podcast the other
Did
day
you?
by mistake.
So
I was like,
it wasn't me that said it. Anyway, I did not like being called that. It's just something that's never went down well with me. So
Hit insecurity.
I just don't
because
like.
there's a wee bit of that in you, is that why?
Well,
You felt that before.
The thing was, he was right,
Aye.
but I was so delirious and so angry about it, and we were going for dinner, right?
Fucking cunt.
So we were also driving when he done it, and he was just laughing at me, and he was also being painfully English when he was doing it. You know, like,
Man.
it's not just a Scottish person saying it. When it's English, it
It's like
hurts.
my
It
mate
hits,
Sam.
it hits deep.
It does.
And I was so angry, and I just went, "Don't say anything," because we just got to Bali, and I was like, "We're on holiday, don't say anything to him." So I went, like, we stopped at a red light, and I just went like that. But I had oil and petrol all in my hands, so I just put all of it through my hair and slicked it back with petrol, basically. And then I was sitting there, and he just went, "What have you done?" And then he went like, "You," and he said that again, and I was like, "How do you beep the horn in this thing? I'm so angry." And I just had to sit at dinner,
Oh,
fucking
man.
stinking of petrol, man. But at least it wasn't diesel.
I could have been worse. Imagine you did put the ring hang in it and done all that and it broke down. Could be worse.
Aye, life can be worse. Well, this is a nice little segue of why we never became mechanics.
But the thing was, this is how we started the last one.
I know.
Aye.
It was
Aye.
about car talk.
Aye.
So
It turns out we'd have not learned a thing.
No,
You're
worse.
You were trying to slag me. So you were trying to see also, we were talking about last week putting the water in the radiator. My dad said it again to me. And I was like, here, I got absolutely slaughtered for saying to James it's a radiator that you put the
You should have asked his dad.
the water in.
Aye, should have asked.
So my dad wants to have words with you.
Bring him.
And because I think you called me. No, you didn't. But
No, I
you
would
said
never do
was
that to you.
stupid.
I say it behind your back.
Not to your face. I've got more integrity.
Aye.
But aye,
Fuck it.
we
I'm not that kind of guy. Just behind your back.
we do not have any
No, like
right to give anyone any
No,
advice
no.
on
No, no.
cars.
aye. So it's funny because
I can change a tyre, but
You can.
I need
Like
to
a
do it.
spare.
I need to do it all the time,
Aye,
aye.
that's like,
I know, I can't change the tyre on the wheel.
Why are you
what I was
saying that as if that's not? I can't do that.
Oh my.
So yeah, it's probably the one thing that you want to have. In
No,
my
you
dad's
need to know how to do
My
that.
dad's giving me a tutorial on it, but I'm absolutely phoning him again.
yeah.
The next time I need to.
You got to phone your dad at 28 old just to change your tyre.
I done it last time.
He phoned his dad in Bali. No, where was it?
Loch Lomond.
Loch Lomond.
Anyway, I'm Kiki.
I parked it.
He phoned him.
Do you want to hear? I parked at Eva's house and just burst my tyre, and I was like, "Father,
What do we do?
what do I do?"
See, to be fair, I need my dad for a lot of things as well.
My dad's a joiner, and when I was building this room, do you remember?
You
Did
sent
see
me
any of
videos
sort
and
of
all
stuff?
that. Aye.
The ceiling fell so many times. I was like, my dad's a joiner. I'm basically a joiner. I can do this sort of shit.
Aye.
I was like, what could I fuck?
Aye.
It was,
Did he help you with this?
yeah, but he couldn't. He left the ceiling open. So I was like, I can put a couple of bits of plasterboard up, a couple of screws. That's a hard as fuck job. I was YouTubing tricks.
It's holding it perfectly and putting it in perfectly in it.
Aye.
That's like my least favourite. I couldn't do anything like that. I can't. I physically see. Even
If you can't change a tyre, mate, you've no chance.
even so, see if someone was like, "Here's a cupboard from IKEA. It's very simple to build." I would just start panicking. I can't do anything like that.
But you
And
can't build IKEA furniture.
No, I remember I got a desk when I moved to
You
London.
got a baptism of fire that you're going to have to go through. When
Mate,
move
you
out.
are fucked,
You're
mate.
fucked.
I've moved out before loads of
I know,
times.
but like, but you've. I think
See,
you
in
moved
Australia,
It's like, he looks at his furniture and goes, I need new furniture. I was getting a house.
what one's furnished?
I bought a desk that you had to build in London, right? And I put it all together, and see when I got to like the last bit, I realised I'd done it all back to front.
So this
And I had to unscrew it all, and the pain in my brain. having
no,
to do that.
This is the trials and errors of
Making
building
furniture
something.
is brutal.
Aye.
It's brutal. It's fucking shite. But at the end of the day, you should be able to do it.
Even these chairs. Did I tell you the story when I bought these chairs for the podcast studio? He was the other day. So
Oh,
I
mate.
drove all the way to Uddingston, Dunelm, because they were the one that had them up. I wanted to sit in nice, comfy chairs for the podcast. Took them all the way here, and then I unpacked
We only had
them.
one the first day, remember?
Aye,
Where did the other one sit?
he sat in a wee tin chair. I was
The
still
king of the
skint-
castle.
I was still skinny, and I was like, I've ordered the other one online. I only had one, but anyway, so I'm building it, and I'm like, fucking bastards, no sent me
The legs.
the legs. We both, in fairness, we both
No,
tipped the
but-
box inside out. I was fucking raging. I just spent fuel
He was
all the way over
fucking
there.
raging.
Phoned up the customer service, and the guy's like, "Oh, I'm extremely sorry." And I was ready to go off in one. I'm so glad I didn't. But he's like, "Can I just ask you to like turn the chair upside down?" And I'm like, "All right." And he's like, "Is there a zip?" And I'm like, "I'll show you." See, they were hiding in that compartment.
They were hiding in the chair. The legs were in the chair.
Right.
And mate, I was saying to him, can I get next day delivery? I need this sent out for my podcast studio. It's important that we get this. And he's like, aye, so you're all right then? And I was like, oh mate, I'm a fucking idiot. And I just hung up.
Fuck you, you're not getting to say fuck all else.
I couldn't give him the satisfaction, fucking slagging us.
Satisfication.
Satisfication!
What is it?
Satisfaction!
Satisfaction? It's like you, what do you say?
I
Vacation.
can't get no
Satisfaction.
Well, that's how I say it, right? And that's all that matters.
Satisfaction. Anyway,
PTs.
I love you that much that I was just going to let it. I just usually let your mum
Nah, I
sing.
can't let things like that go.
That's
You
what
say fatigue. So don't give me
no,
your
it's no
shit.
fatigue. I say that is another word you talk about though. I can't mind what other words you talk about, but there is a word I say.
It's fatigue.
No, it's no fatigue.
You two can all slag me for not being able to change the tyre.
No.
Aye, we can change tyres. Right?
Aye, we can change tyres. We can change all the tyres.
I remember I am generally undiagnosed dyslexia. 100%.
No, he is. That's how I let him off. Because I'm like, oh, he's done it again.
He's done it again.
Aoife's
part of it.
I know exactly what you're trying to say. Something cool.
Aoife's horrendous with it as well. She tried to say missed opportunity the other day, and she said missed opportunity. I was like, that's two different words.
That'll be me. That's me. That's
What was
me.
our
100%.
sister was over? What was it she said? Aye, that was it, right? So we're watching a film. I can't remember what it's about. I think it's called like The Banker or something. Have you seen? Like, and it's to do with like banks, obviously, right? And it's like set in like the 60s and 70s or something, and it's like it's about black. It's about a black guy who like starts buying banks that were owned by white people. So it's about that. And our sister like is looking up the reviews, and she was like, we were like, what's it about before we put it on? And she's like, oh, it's about like the indigenous people in America. And then she switches it on, and like the info about the film comes on Netflix or whatever. And then I just see the word ingenious. It's an ingenious film, right? And I'm like, Indigenous, is it? And she sees the ingenious bit. It's fucking, she's got the two words mixed up. I was like, man, I've been sitting halfway through. I was, where are these in fucking, where's this Indigenous history? I was watching.
I'm going to be honest with you, mate. I don't know what that word means.
I'm going to be honest. I don't know what it means either.
I just know it's
honestly, you're never slagging me again.
No, you're right.
What does it mean?
So like,
I'm assuming history.
oh my god,
Is it not?
And like, so you've never heard the term like Indigenous people?
No, I have heard it, but I don't know what it is.
It's
So,
one
like-
of them that you nod and you're like, aye, mate.
So
I've been doing it for my full life.
I'm not sure the exact term on Google, right? But it's so say like Aboriginals in Australia, they're the Indigenous to the land.
Right, okay.
Right.
So whoever, I think
Like
it's
Native
to do with,
Americans?
who the first people on the land are. Yeah, like Native Americans.
Right.
So that's what I thought the film was going to be about, like Native Americans. But it was just an ingenious film director that came up with the plot.
Nice.
You're like,
You
where's
actually
these
got
for?
that spot on.
Did I?
Aye. Indigenous. There
So
we
you
go.
can't slag me again.
Learn something new every day is a school day.
Yep.
And I will be
I know
quoting news whenever
So
my
why
tires broke.
are they called Aboriginals in Australia then?
That would just be like their category, if you know
Oh,
what
like Native American
I
Aboriginals.
mean. Aye.
It's hard work, man, innit? What's the Scottish ones?
Alcoholics.
Aye. Drug addicts, I don't know. Fuck that.
Neds.
Aye, bams.
Neds.
Will we try get into
Let's get
this?
into like how to.
Be a
No.
PT.
So let's preface this by saying we've already filmed this podcast, but Dale's mic wasn't on the full time, so we have like a wee structure that we're gonna try. We're basically redoing the podcast, but for the sake of us not losing our minds, we're gonna try not go through the exact same topics again because I've refilmed podcasts and tried to talk about the same topics, and if you try and make the same joke that someone's heard, it just
That flops.
it just does not work, and
Ha 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 ha.
everyone will hate their life. So we're gonna try.
I already fake laugh to Gavin all the time anyway.
It's not very nice.
I'm like, ha, he's such a funny guy. And it's just so you came back to the podcast studio, mate. That's what it was.
To be fair, all of that was new. That was
Would
some
you?
good chat.
That was new chat. Now, when we went to the fight on Saturday night, could you see yourselves ever doing that as a charity thing?
Used to, Will. Absolutely not. I can't fight
Would you
for
not?
Probably, to be fair, but
Scott
it-
wants to set used to it. That's
Why
what he was
us
saying
two?
on Monday.
Why not?
Why
used
us
to?
two? Because why us two?
I don't know. He just said James and Gavin should fight.
Is that because we are more similar weights than used to?
What are you?
Wait,
I'm like 888
Right,
you give it
aye.
a chance.
Aye.
because you can't get down him.
No,
This skinny dweeb.
I know.
this fat dweeb.
Stop fat shaming me. Oh, that was it. That was the podcast we were going to do on Friday. Is fat shaming legit just because of what's been going on recently?
Aye, right.
Anyway,
right.
back onto PTing. So
Aye,
why
aye.
are we doing this
Just
podcast
for-
episode real quick?
Why are we doing it?
Yeah,
Oh,
because you've just released it, actually.
oh well, just mate, my Instagram DMs at the moment are absolutely disgusting. Even again, and by the way, James, I'll show you this. Let me get this up. So that podcast last week is definitely getting thrown around all of those groups,
Yeah, I thought
and there'll be people that are
What
in it.
podcast?
So I done one with Holly that was in one of the mentorships.
Oh, aye, I seen that.
And obviously she knows all of them. She told me that loads of them had already.
What mentorship is she in? Like, go. Right, I'm talking, so you wink at me. Tell me.
No, like just
Tell me.
we'll just cut this bit out. It's Chris's bit. That would be Jesus fucking Christ. Do this fucking sign language.
I've
that's Chris's one.
I've heard more since as well. Aye.
My brain absolutely
No,
broke.
that was like that. Just fucking.
No, because it's after our podcast. I went and asked them, what do you genuinely think of this? Come on, tell me.
How many? Like all of them?
3 or 4.
And what are they saying?
Saying it's a bump.
It's a bump. Right, so also anyone listening to this, see if we're going to cut out names, right? But see if you think it's about a mentorship that you like, and if you're like, without getting too specific
Don't
about
cry.
anything, no, but it is about what you think it is, even if it's not. Because if
There
you
is-
think it's a scam or it's anywhere in the UK and it's someone that you think we might know, like everything we're speaking about is so you don't jump on with whoever you think it is. And if you're in the middle of it, get out. However, make sure you figure out which one it is because some of them sue,
Some.
but not all of them. But wait till you see this, mate. This is how I know that it's in. This is how I know that it's getting fired about. Just so I'm not going to put this on the screen or anything, right? But and don't read all of it. Just read 2 seconds of it. So don't read all of them.
This is off the back of episodes that we've done.
Just straight after.
Straight after, same day it came out. So like the podcast I've been putting in, what I've been writing, I didn't think anyone would pay attention to that. That's what I said to Holly, like no one's gonna listen to this, or like none of them will know about it, but I think it is. Which I don't really care about, by the way, because people need to know.
Nah, it's a conversation that needs to be had. But at the end of the day, like,
We know these people as well.
I was going to say PTs are to blame because they're the ones that are
Jumping in the bandwagon.
they're feeling the need to jump into these. So that's why this is a podcast that we're
So
doing today.
I've
How we start.
really thought about it. See, like after that week, and obviously I spoke to all of them, asked them what is your genuine thoughts, because they're balls deep in it, and I thought they were liking it. Do you know what I mean? I just went, look, I want to fucking know all the ins and outs, and it got me thinking. Like, well, obviously we're going to speak about it now. If you're a PT, right, and you're like, having good business practices is good, so I'm going into 2024 with a much better business practice than I ever have, and it's making me feel so much more at ease, and I know that I'm going to have what these business mentors preach is good things, but when you get into the courses, whatever it is, then it's no what they're preaching on social media, what it's going to be. They sell you the dream. Do you know what I mean? We've spoke about like, how I've been in one, you've been in a few.
Yeah.
There's some good ones, there's some not so good ones. They never tell you, if you want to make it and you want to stick at it, you need to be a fucking good PT. You need to be fucking good. Somebody needs to come to you and you need to go either need to know what the problem is, or you need to have the skills to go and find out what the problem is, or you need to have the balls to say, I can't help you.
We had a discussion about this as well. It's like problem solving.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've got a client that she can barely move in some ways, and I know he knows a lot more about back pain and stuff. So I was asking him quite a lot about it. Like she can't even like remotely hip hinge or anything like that. But like I know I can help her. I know for a fact I can.
So,
but it literally comes down to like for half an hour I just see how she can move.
but for MD listening, that's so vital to learn that skill. And you don't learn that skill in any other way.
It's just about not stressing and just going, here, I don't know how to fix this just now, but I'll figure it out. And
So-
you do. I'm already getting her to move better. Just
So
by doing
I'll tell you
stuff.
one thing that I heard for like people that I've spoke to, and I was like, this is fucking. You can tell me what you think, right? So basically, right, they're told if you got on a call, you're selling no matter what,
Yeah, it's all about sales skills.
right? You're selling no matter what. So I'm like, what? So if this person tells you they're struggling with something severe and you can't help them, you start to sell to them. Aye, you've to sell no matter what. If you've got them in a call, you're selling them.
I've
So
got anorexia. Don't care. I'm
that
a gym floor PT.
this is exactly what it is. And I said to them, I say, see who you're with. Never done that. They see these sleazy tactics. They don't actually do them themselves. Do you know what I mean? They never done them as a PT because they know they if
No,
you
it didn't work.
no, but if you're on a phone to somebody and you're listening to their problems, you're like, this is a lot. Can I actually take them on? Can I help them? And if the answer's aye, it will take a lot longer. But they're like, no, I can give you this. I can get you this. I can get you this. Oh, this is your problem. Don't worry, we can fix it. So there's a pure sales tactic. And yeah, selling's good for your PT business if anybody's listening. But also understanding it's another human on the other side of the phone.
Yeah, it's not a sale.
You're no
I don't even-
trying to make money off them because this isn't what it's for. And I was like, they don't fucking do it. I know for a fact like who.
See, the better you get at your job, but it's not selling. I never feel like I'm
No.
selling to someone. I'm like, I'm fucking good at my
This
job.
is what I do.
This person's ass.
Sales is comes down to confidence. Like
Yeah.
you said, and I don't care what course you go through. If you've not trained anyone, you can go on the best sales course in the world. There's going to be a lack of confidence on that call when you
Always.
sell with them.
And I remember
Whereas-
that full first year of online coaching I done. I was still learning, and I was getting better at online coaching, even though like you get way better for in person, right? But I used to always feel like, is this money worth it for that person? And but I wasn't charging a lot of money. These people go in and charge like triple what I was charging off the back of like.
We
But
get a
you-
lot of insecurities. for it,
Aye,
I think.
because
You're like,
I imposter syndrome
like,
because
that's a lot
I
of money, aye.
wasn't good
Aye,
because I
you're no
hadn't
good at
done it
first.
long. And like even if you work in person at the start, at the very start, you're gonna be like, I'm not good at this. But when you're actually good, you don't feel like you're selling because you're like, I'm worth every pound
Aye.
that you're gonna pay me. The only times it's not gonna be worth it is if you don't do anything.
Mhm.
But even if you do something,
Yeah.
it'll be worth it because I'll be able to help you with the something you're doing.
Aye.
I think one thing I said last time on the podcast was nothing's going to fast track your journey as a PT to success any more than exposing yourself to 100 sales calls or 100 clients.
Yeah.
It's like it's the experience that you get for every single one of them because you're like, oh man, I kind of pitched that a fucking weird way.
Aye.
It's like, oh, I didn't really know what to say when they had this, and
It's
there
a
is something
self-reflection on the
Aye,
call.
There is something to be said about handling objection and all that sort of stuff. I had a client in last week, and he was all up for it, and he left and text said, "Look, I don't think this is for me." And I actually said,
Is that
to
the
him,
one you were telling me about?
and I actually said to him, I was like, "Look, I think, in all honesty, I've overwhelmed you." And I says, "Look, I'm confident that this was going to change your life.
Aye.
Come round next week for free. Let's try out for the next couple of weeks if you want to do it." And after the first session, he saw the value, and he's like, "Yeah, this
But
is."
the difference
this
is you genuinely believe
Yeah,
you
so
can change his life by making him
the
move. So
confidence,
not
yeah.
online coaching or dieting him or getting him to lose 2 stone.
Aye.
That guy had a bit of issues with
Triple
his
heart
movement
bypass,
but also his movement and his back and all that, wasn't it? And you
Aye.
knew that if he comes in just with a bit of mobility
Straight
and a
away
bit of
it's
strength
gone.
training,
He'll-
that he's going. But you saying I'm going to change your life wasn't the way they put it.
Yeah.
You're like, I genuinely know that with 6 months of working with me will make your life way better. Like
Aye,
way
genuinely,
better.
genuinely.
And you mean it. It's not
We
a
say it with
sales thing. It's
conviction.
not.
Aye, aye.
It's so
It's
much
not.
conviction.
And I say stuff like that to people, and it's not like this isn't a sales like sentence. It's not a buzzword or a
Script, aye.
catchphrase. I know if you come to me that I'll be able to help you
Aye,
a
aye.
lot. I'll be able to make an actual impact on your
Aye.
life.
Yeah.
And I said it to, I've got one client, she actually seen me in Lidl in Airdrie. I told you about that, didn't I? And she'd followed me for ages, and she didn't come on when it was online, which is fair, but she was like, "Are you working around here?" And I was like, just come in. Because last time she was like, "I didn't know about finances." And then she said, "Again, I just need to check with my husband," so they'll go through all these
These are all
objections,
sales
right?
objections, yeah.
That it's a sales objection, right? But I've started coming at it from a way that's like, I would usually leave that, but now what I've started doing, and it's a genuine not pushy thing, because here's the difference: they'll try guilt trip you, like, why the fuck would you listen to what your husband says?
Aye,
or
no,
something?
no, I know.
It's
I went to that.
You're not the man of the house.
Aye, aye, aye.
I was like, does your husband like or what was the way I worded it? Because I actually thought about it when I said it to her. I was like, why would your husband not want you to do this?
Yeah. So that's the way Jason
Like-
Phillips stuff. Like, he has that. He's like, look, you're going to get challenges where.
And by the way, I also
finances quite
preface
tricky.
that because it's important. I went, I don't care if you don't come on or anything.
That's what I said to somebody the
I'm
other
like,
day.
honestly, I don't care. I like, if you never want to speak, like, if you never want to engage with anything again, that's fine. I was like, but all I would say to you is, doesn't your husband like want you to do this as well? And that's all I would ask you, ask him.
Yeah.
And then, because you can go and have that conversation with your husband, but you know that's not an actual thing that she's going to do. It's more an individual thing
Mhm.
that she doesn't believe she can do it herself.
Well, that was what had happened to the guy that was in last week. His wife didn't believe that it's the right thing for him, and he
Mhm.
said that in the message to me, and I was like, well, and I ended up voice noting, because you kind of get that across in text with it sounding
Aye.
arse. And I was like you said, it's like either way, at the end of the day, it is your decision. But I'm very passionate about resistance training and how it can dramatically impact your life. And I know that you turning 60 soon is going to, I can promise you that we'll work towards you feeling better than you did when you turned 50, because you've not done anything. And I've trained enough clients to get to the point where you can say it with conviction.
Aye,
So-
definitely.
And that takes like 2 or 3 years at least.
Yeah, so and that's experience. That the quicker you can get 100 customers or 100 clients exposed to and fuck up and trial and error,
Aye,
that makes you more confident.
Aye.
Every client, with every fuck up, with every quote unquote bad client that comes through your business, and as long as you take ownership of it and go, what could I have done differently to make their experience better? Forget it could be a client that just would you never clicked to them, or whatever the reason was. If you have that mindset going into it, you're going to be a much better PT.
There's a fine line between berating yourself, but also every like bad experience you have with a client. See if you can even just think about 2 or 3 things that maybe you could have done differently that have worked with other people. So even if you just think like that, then the next time you might come up against the same issue and go, right, it didn't work with that person last time and they seem quite similar, got similar issues. I'm going to try this. And then you just get better at, I've got better at, like that client I'm talking about. See if I got her in the first year, I'd have just went, I can't deal with this. I've had so many conversations with her, just like lacks any sort of self-belief in herself, but just deep conversations with her, and she's smashing it. Like she's absolutely smashing it. But it's all stuff I've learned through like going for therapy and all that.
Continuous. Aye.
And just bringing it down to the basics of the basics, instead of being like, why is this person not doing free? That's why I get so annoyed at these people and that fucking mentorship. Like going like, it's just all about discipline and like you just don't want it enough. You're just insecure. Your
Aye,
fucking body image issues. Like shut the fuck up.
It's
They need to
got
be.
nothing to do with
They
it.
need to be brought down. They have no belief in themselves.
Nothing.
They need to be.
Nothing.
If you set them something they can't do, that's your fucking fault because
Aye.
they can't do it because it's too overwhelming. So it's bringing it down. If it's one workout a week, they're not fucking pussies or insecure as fuck because they can only do one workout a week. They need that because they
To
need
start.
because it's too overwhelming to start any.
Their
and
baseline is
these
so
people
small.
do not understand it. They
No.
don't get it. They don't get what it's like to be someone that doesn't just naturally go into a gym and feel fucking amazing.
So that's what he taught me at the start.
Sorry, I get really angry there, but it's because my DMs have been rife and I hate them so much.
So I want to go back to a couple of things. We'll actually just keep going because it's actually really good. But one thing he taught me to start is if somebody leaves you, if somebody doesn't like it, or you need to learn something for. Do you know what I mean? So if somebody comes to you and you give them 3 workouts a day and they're doing 1, right? Like a lot of PTs will go, why the fuck you no doing the 3? Day 3. 2 months later, they're still not doing the 3, right? You need to go, as a personal trainer, right? What's happening here, right? We need to take a step back. Whatever I've gave them is no working. Now, every client, well, you'll know if a client's not working because they won't even, they'll stop messaging you, know that, right? The kind of clients who are no good clients are the people who don't keep in contact with you. If a client's keeping in contact with you but they're still not getting to the gym too much, they're still replying to their
They
check-ins.
want to do it.
They want to do it.
Want to do it.
But there's something not working. So I've got a client that now struggling and start struggling to hit her steps and that, right? But always in contact, always messaging me back, always replying. So I'm like, she does want it. Like it's clear and obvious when a client wants it compared to when they don't want it, but they're just overwhelmed. And I was like, right, what I'm obviously giving her is too much. And you could just say, just be fucking more disciplined. Or do you fucking want it? Do you fucking want it? You fucking pussy.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? Look at the fucking state of you. It's your fucking choice. Do you know what I mean? And like sometimes I'll like, say that to myself. You know what I mean? It's like, but that's
There's
how.
a type of character that works with, but
No,
I think
no,
we all
everybody's the
know.
same.
Nah,
No, very little, man. Like maybe 10%.
So I take sit and look and go, right, where the fuck are we genuinely at here? And you look at it and you go, right, they're hitting this and they're hitting this. That's their ultimate baseline, right? And that's what like one thing, like you learn baseline calories, you learn baseline training, you learn baseline movement, and that's a place to look at. And then you can go, right, that's their baseline. Where do I take them? And probably the biggest thing I've learned in the last 6 months is I had a structure for most people, but then if somebody comes and they don't fit that structure, you have to change it for them. And that's the problem with people who go into these mentorships.
You
They've
have to
got
adapt.
one structure and they know fuck all else.
And they take on as much as they can.
They
And
take
then
on
there's
as
like
much as they can.
30% of their clients that just doesn't work for.
Aye.
This is the thing as well. We like see quote unquote bad clients as well, because you don't really you can't learn this on paper or watching a course. You learn it by experience.
Aye,
where
aye.
you get a client and like you said, they stop texting, they stop doing that. You still need to take ownership. That's your job of going like, right, what could have been done different? And it might just be at the start of any new client you then take on. You say like,
This is how I do
sometimes-
things.
Sometimes you're going to fall off. Sometimes you're not going to be consistent. All I ask from you at this point is that you always get back to me.
I
when you
always
can.
send that message out. I've got a wee bullet point thing that says, this could happen, this could happen, this could happen.
Yeah.
And I'm like, just tell me.
But you
Aye,
can't,
aye.
you
I know.
can't get that because I guess you could watch a course and, it
And I
says-
still
it
get
says,
ghosted
like,
the odd time, by the way.
aye,
but
and
that's
it'll
gonna
always
happen.
happen. But that's just this life. But you could get a course that says, right,
That's dating.
do this, write
Fucking
this
damn right.
list out, make sure that your clients all understand this list. But if you don't understand why the list is there, or you don't understand it from experience, it doesn't really mean much. to
No,
you.
no,
So
no,
you
no.
can't communicate it as effectively. So there's obviously tons to get into to fast track your journey and becoming a good successful.
That was
PT.
good chat, but
Aye.
Aye,
No,
aye.
but this is obviously most.
I
of
think
the
we
stuff
can
that
keep
we
we
can-
can keep going.
Go
with
one
some of
more
this.
point and then we'll if
I'm
you want to
trying-
move on
this
about
is-
stay.
This is more
I was
helpful
just
than
going to
when
bring
we
it back to the why. That's
Aye,
where I
aye.
was gonna
see
go.
see when we done this last time though. I think we spent a lot of time on pointless stuff like the online courses. I think this stuff's way more helpful.
So see, you said about therapy, right? Like if you're going into PT and you know you struggle mentally, you know you've got struggle with food, you've got struggle with your fitness, right? You need to I would physically say you need to help yourself first before you try and help other people, because a lot of PTs out there are putting their own insecurities on their clients,
That's a big thing.
and it's massive because then all your clients have the exact same insecurities, and then they tell their friends and family, and all, like it breeds insecurity. And it's no like, oh, you shouldn't be a PT because you're that, but you need to have some self-awareness in yourself to go, you know what, I maybe know where I should be myself as well. I need to work on myself before I take any more people on too much, because it's very easy to get overwhelmed as a personal trainer.
Well, look at my last PT, mate. He's lost the actual plot.
Mm-hmm.
Like lost his
mentally.
lost his mind.
Yeah.
And that's someone that's been coaching hundreds and hundreds of people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm speaking to the people that they've sort of coached, and what he's indented into their brains is fried.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all of that determination chat and all that.
Yeah.
Like all this you need to be determined. Like it's all like it's just the degrading sort of chat. Did I tell you about the time I was like, so the one when I get dieted for 18 weeks? One time when I moved to London, I was telling you about that, didn't I? And I drank like twice, and I asked for a diet break, and they were like, nah. And then I drank twice, checked in. I'd only done like 2 workouts that week or something, and I got like a 5-minute voice note, and it played through my speaker in my living room when I was hungover, and it was 3 minutes of it was about how they'd never missed a gym session in 3 years.
Them.
They were like, how can you expect to miss a gym session, not get results, and all of this? And then also I hadn't been doing much leg exercises because my knee was been swelling out, and it happened again, so I was only doing like Romanian deadlifts and leg press and stuff like that, and it was like a bandage round that and all that, and I was like, oh my god,
man.
oh my god, these people. And I was like, mate, I'm
You're not a PT at this point, are you?
No, I am.
Are you?
Yeah, for like a
Fucking
year and a
hell, man.
half, and I'd been for physio on it twice, but the 2 physios I went for,
No,
I hadn't
I
got
just
to the
mean
problem.
more from your mentality, sitting there like hearing another coach and going, is this how PTs need to act?
Aye, that is it though.
Because
So
it breeds a culture that.
So I say that I've said this about this before. I was very self-aware at this point. I kind of laughed at that voice note. It didn't make me feel bad. However, most people that are on with these people aren't. Like, I was 26 as well, a lot of life experience. I would just listen to that and go, mate, my knees are
Fucked. My knee's fucked, mate.
I cannot leg press. What you on about? Put a bandage on it. Like, it doesn't matter. I'll still get to here. My knee is the size of a watermelon, mate. So I kind of laughed at that. But there was stuff that, like,
There's always
he did-
learning. There's always good.
no, but he gave me some bad habits. If you know what I mean, like
Aye,
they're the
imprinted them.
odd. So I think some people would maybe take on 80% of what he would have told them. I took on maybe 20%, but that 20% was still awful.
As well, mate. Whether you've said confronted this in your mind or not, there's a reason you wanted to get coached by him. So
I'll tell you. I can tell you what it is. I wanted to know how, because
that's what I mean. Like
he was posting the most outrageous transformations, and it wasn't more so that I would just believe that he must be a better coach than me, and then I just realised that it's just starving people.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Aye.
It's starving people in steroids, because that doesn't get talked about enough. Definitely, I've heard stuff. So this is why we need to be very careful with names, because I have heard more and more terrifying things. What?
You're getting so
Mate, I'm so angry.
Yeah.
So angry. I unfollowed him, by the way, the other day.
Did you?
Aye. It's too far, mate. It's actually so bad
Aye.
they're doing. But steroids and starvation. So much steroids.
I was actually shocked. We know a coach, and I don't know, say guy or girl.
Can someone get in to calm me down, man?
Calm down.
I'm
But
fucking
we
raging.
we know them.
That
and,
post yesterday really pissed me off.
genuinely thought great coach, and then I'm sure, I don't know if you've had a few clients from them, but I've had a few, and I'm like, right, what are you eating? And they're telling me, I'm like, are you joking me? I'm like, there's no way your age, your level of fitness, your level of movement, that you feel all right. Do you know what I mean? So if you're a coach out there and you're putting your clients on low calories just to get that transformation picture, just to get them to lose that little bit of body fat, you go, oh, you know what, you're already strong, you've already built that muscle, just fucking keep your calories low. Are you checking in with your clients and going, how do you feel? Like, a lot of people don't go, how do you feel? Oh, what's the weight? How's your workouts? It's never, how do you feel? You know what I mean? A lot of people skip that part.
Do I know who you're talking about?
I don't know who he's talking about, but I think I've got an idea.
I've got an idea.
Anyway,
I think.
I think at the end of the day,
It doesn't matter who I'm talking about, because they're not the only one doing it.
It's
Aye,
most
that's
of the industry.
You need, well, this is what you need to think about. If you're starting out PTing or you're wanting to become a decent PT, what category do you fall into? Because in a way, there's a market for getting 8 weeks ready, 12 weeks ready. Then cool. If that's the type of PT, then all power to you.
Join the fucking the queue.
Well, that that's majority PTs why we get into it.
Yeah.
You've done a wee bit of fitness, you've got a better understanding of the average population out there, but that's no fixing the obesity rates, the rate that we are growing more unhealthy, the lack of mobility, the lack of strength that we have as a nation. Getting people shredded in 8 weeks isn't helping those people.
No,
because it's like
no chance.
You're no celebrating somebody working out once a week. I get to celebrate that with my clients. I get to say to a client who was cycling to work last week for the first time in the last 10 years and came to me and was like, man, I only done it once last week. And I goes, no. Fucking celebrate that. You've not done that in the last 10 years. If you flip that mindset, you start to truly help people have this sustainable approach to health and fitness.
Yeah.
And that's where you start. And that actually brings you back to the why. Like, why are you starting? Like, you don't need like this fucking strong purpose. When we were speaking about this last time, I'm fortunate I came in later in life with a wee bit more life experience. I never really understood what life experience meant because I wanted to be a firefighter when I left school. I was like, that's a fucking job that I want to do. And the wee guys, the guys came to the high school and I was like, how do I sign up? And the guy just looked to me, he's like, you need life experience first, pal. And I was like, what does that mean? He's like, you just need to get a few years under your belt.
Have a breakup.
I was like, but it is true. It's like friendships, meeting different people, being in different environments. The better that you expose yourself to that, the better a person you become because you learn basic communication skills.
As long as you're willing to learn through the events though. You could be going through the events and going, I don't give a fuck, I don't give a fuck, I don't give a fuck. And get to the other side and you're 30 years in and you've not learned anything.
You can't make eye contact with somebody.
Aye.
I've definitely met people that have had bad things happen to them and haven't learned a thing from it.
Aye.
Well, that's the thing. You need to be
self-aware.
Yeah, you need to be self-aware. You need to constantly challenging your own belief. So, your why, like PT, I wouldn't say is a lucrative.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
PT isn't a lucrative job in itself.
No, not to start with.
Nah, definitely. There's a hustle part.
You're going to be humbled at the start of
That hustle's so enjoyable though.
You need to be prepared for the hustle.
Yeah.
Because you look at
Obviously it's
it's
terrifying
not just
as well.
£30 an hour. It's not £35 an hour. Whatever it is you've done, it's like you're breaking it down and going, right, I've got a big part to play in somebody's health and fitness. Whether it's
not a part-time job either.
Nah.
See that people, I'm going to do PT on the side. How the fuck you got to do that?
Good luck. You can't really. I know Dale PT'd on the side, but you PT'd people you knew, like actually having like it being a side business and then like overtaking.
But yours wasn't a side business. It was just a kind of hobby-ish at the time.
A hobby for you.
So I went into going like so. What I would say if somebody's in a full-time job that they're really nervous of leaving, an exercise to do is like, look, see if you enjoy it is generally the first thing. So you're maybe saying to a mate or you're saying even to a friend of a friend so you don't have any connection, because that's where I truly made the decision. It wasn't with like a first-hand friend. It was like Jillian's friend who knew of me and I was like, right, cool. And I was like, man, this is good. I really enjoy this. And that's where I was like, right, okay, fuck it. I'm in with 2 feet.
I think also one last thing to say about that. I've got 2 points right based off of all of that, and then we'll maybe go through lots more like really specific stuff. One, you wouldn't be good at coaching at the start, so like if you don't get an instant spark, but you felt like I kind of want to know why what I said there didn't work or what I taught them didn't work. See if you even have that, and then the next time you go, like, we're going to try something else, you've probably got it. Do you know what I mean? You've got that, like, you want to figure out.
Trial and error.
Aye. So don't, like, if you do your first 5 sessions, I wouldn't say, don't worry if you didn't, like, fucking get an absolute buzz out of it, because you might be quite shit at it.
You might be nervous as fuck as well.
You've maybe not actually taught them anything yet, and then once you manage to see them move better and you get a buzz then maybe, because you know what I mean? You might, for the first 5 sessions, you might go, I don't have a clue what I'm doing here.
My advice to PT starting out is like, fuck the resistance training side of things. If you can start to understand joint mobility exercises, every single person, even us 3 here, struggle with some sort of mobility. So
definitely,
as the average person come to you, no matter where they're at,
you show them that and they go,
wow. 1 or 2, nobody's doing much of that.
They stand up and they go,
aye,
fucking hell,
and
man.
that's where, okay, if you see a physical transformation, yeah, that gets them bought into your next 16-week block or whatever, but that shit there where they're leaving that session going, hey, that felt amazing. So boom, they've got a connection with you and you're like, where? This is the first time I've done this exercise with anyone. I've done it with myself, and this is what I want you to feel. So there is a trial and error, like you said, but you're not going, yes, they've instantly lost 6 inches off their weight. Some of my best client testimonials I've got, weight stayed relatively the same. Body composition's changed, but they've got stronger and they've got less joint pain.
And that's gave them way more confidence, and just their lives generally
Just
got
better, better.
And you have a skill there that they cannot teach themselves, right? Someone can diet themselves. It might be easier with a bit of accountability, but they don't. All these clients don't need to lose a lot of weight in 12 weeks, but you have a skill set there to give them basically a life skill of going into the gym, getting more mobility and more strength that they can't teach themselves. It would take themselves 5 years to teach what you can teach them in like 3 or 4
When
months.
when you're on YouTube, do you find mobility drills?
Oh, it's not sexy. You look at it, you're like, I don't need
Aye.
I need the weight loss.
Like back in the day, like you're watching, like obviously, like if you're
Cali muscle.
Aye. As a guy, you're watching a specific niche, and as a girl, you're watching a specific niche. Very rarely are they going, by the way, do these 90s for your hips, so you open up your hips before you do a squat. It's getting a little bit more as time goes on, but it's very fucking rare. So the general population, I'm not seeing any of this. You show them that and they're like, fucking hell, man, I feel fucking great already.
So
instantaneously.
You have that skill set, and by the way, that will keep a client. You don't need to make them lose X amount of weight in 12 weeks. If you can get them moving better in 4 weeks, and they go from not being able to squat at all to being able to squat, you have got a client there for a long time.
100%. That's it. That's how I've retained a good bunch of my clients when I think about it. And it all came from listening to a podcast similar to this setup, and the guy with 20-30 years PT experience was like, the best thing any PT can do is learn physio mobility drills.
Oh, mind pump.
No,
oh.
it wasn't even mine, it was
yeah. Get it on.
Aye, so
Oh,
get it right. Get the right dick. So, and he said that, and I was like, right, cool, I'm just going to buy this program. And I done it, and I didn't know what I was doing. And I can cue those coaching cues better now than I did at the start, but it didn't mean the person at the start didn't get any value from it.
No.
Because I was
It's
kind of looking at it,
just your shit hotter
I'm
now.
like, I'm kind of doing it, and I'm like, right, cool, how's that feeling? They're like, it feels, I'm kind of feeling it here, and I'm like, cool. And I go back and I watch the cues again, and I'm like, right, okay, I'll remember this cue next time. That's how you learn. You're not getting that by just watching videos all day. So
No.
Or any of these mentorships.
I know. So let's talk. I think one of the things to start with.
Oh, so you said about mentors again? They've all got wee willies.
Aye, I've all got you willies. Get up, bees, man.
What was I going to say there? Oh yeah. So what with PTing, picking a gym, I think that's an important thing to run through then strategies.
Let's go for that, right? So we'll try not do this. So my gym experience, I chose a gym that was too quiet,
Mm-hmm.
but I had online people, so I viewed it differently to use, where I went, right, I'm going to use that gym to train my online clients, get like 2 or 3 in-person ones, and then just use that as building experience. Also, I found that I actually learned way more the more amount of different people I met. So like doing one-off sessions with people, I felt I learned way more than just working with the same 4 people like 2 or 3 times a week.
Definitely.
So I was trying to do quite a lot of free sessions as well. I would just try to pull them off of Instagram as well. I'd just be like free sessions.
I think most PTs starting out don't like, because we have both experienced it, where you start your social media and you think you've got a wee bit of following, and you put out the free sessions, nobody bites.
Not one.
See with the social media shit, I'm an extreme exception.
I know
understand.
that,
Don't try and do what I done. Also, it's also not as lucrative as what you think it is. Even with me, I had like 30 times more followers than yours, and I would get maybe 3 people.
That's what I mean.
It's not
the ratio's like so. It's like 0.001%.
Aye, so
it's actually quite insane how people don't accept free, but
because they think they're going to be sold to. The last time I put it up, about 5 people messaged me going, but how much is the coaching? And I was like, genuinely, just come. I will even pitch.
I don't actually know. I remember when I got my first ever 2 or 3 clients this year.
They also might think it'll be shite.
My clients just says, I just didn't want to waste your time. And I was like, what are you talking about?
I think there's a couple of things to it, but
Aye.
there is ways around it, and this is what I want to get into with strategy. You've got a small box private gym that you kind of chose. We went into like a private gym as well, which in all honesty, I think are few and far between. I think Gym 24 is the exception, that they had
Aye.
a fucking solid setup. Manny and Tony, who run the business, have done
Probably
really
something
well.
to be said for the fact that was a relatively new gym, wasn't it? Because it isn't new.
I think it will still be the same in 5 years. The way they run it.
They've got the community and the culture bit.
Yeah, okay.
Can
Spot
I
on.
tip the
They
team?
that won't change wage. There's no
Now,
chance.
what I like about small box gyms, if it has a, like, you didn't really have many people that could just work out in the gym, did they?
Like
It's kinda
I
classes,
did.
wasn't it?
But it was just dead, mate.
Aye, so I think that's something to watch out for. What I liked about Gym 24 that I think you spoke about is different to JD. Every single person that walked through the door,
Speak to you.
you could open up conversations. That
Yeah.
was on you. Like, right, I don't care how socially awkward
So mine was
you
the
are.
same, but there just wasn't
Wasn't it?
people
Aye,
walking
so
through the door.
There's maybe, I think the footfall was something like 150 to 200 people in a relatively, it's not like tiny, but it's a small box gym if you compare it to JD. So being able to hold that conversation with every client, I think that's so underrated.
Aye.
Because you're like, how you doing? They might not say anything back, and it's like, right, cool. You're dealing with rejection. You're dealing with, like, but if you're constantly refining that skill, you naturally start.
So for me, which is a wee bit different for you, which might be a lot of people going through, you get into PT and you don't actually have very great social skills. Like, you just need to just speak to as many people as you can. It'll probably feel super uncomfortable at the start. I burnt out so many times because I just wasn't used to speaking to people.
Social battery.
Do you know what I mean? My social battery was really fucking low. So I burnt out so much. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't be able to do the things I do with people now. Like, new people walking through the door, that would scare you. Or new clients coming in, you're worried about it. If you can just get into a gym and just speak to as many people as you can, doesn't even matter what about. You'll end up talking about training anyway, right? You'll talk to them about their day, then you'll ask them about their training.
I don't
But-
answer a random question like, is your gran and granddad alive?
But if you're new to the gym,
I
you just
do
need to...
hate that typical thing where a PT comes up and goes, "What you training?" I'm like, mate, fuck off.
I don't know. Like, I think if there's a place to do it, it's there, right?
Aye.
But how I wouldn't like.
But I would rather you just go, "How are you?"
My go-to lines were always, "Oh, nice to see you. How's it going? How's your training going?" So, good. It's good to see you in here again. You're killing it, man. Or if it was somebody that I could tell didn't like making eye contact, I would no force myself to say, hi. Like, I'd be like,
Aye.
like, even if they were walking out, I wouldn't make it awkward. I'd just like, have a nice day. See you later.
Aye.
And clients started noticing that with me, and I ended up getting a few clients with just that one wee line, just because they're like, I like how you make an effort with your customer service. So
Yeah.
basic customer service is needed and as you're working a gym floor. I would say though, for most PTs, you're better going into a big box gym.
Aye.
There's a difference. Is also see what you're talking about. See, the way you're coming at it is not, I'm doing this to get more clients. You're just being sound. You're just being nice to people. You're never like, if I say bye to them,
I'll get them as a
if I
client.
say bye to 20 people, I'll get one client. You're not thinking like that. You're genuinely being like, I'm just going to talk to people. I'm going to be the soundest, most helpful guy in here. That's it. You're not even going, that's what's going to get me more clients. You need to genuinely be like, I want to just get to, and by the way, it's fun getting to know people. If you don't like getting to know people at all, this job's going to be difficult for you.
Fucking hard.
That's why I'm saying like why am I doing that? Is because I genuinely
I'm still
want
like
to,
riled up, man. Calm down.
No, but why do we help you? Because we genuinely want to communicate a better, effective, sustainable way to health and fitness.
Aye.
If it's all about, oh man, they'll potentially get me a
Aye.
client, that'll be
X, Y, and
a
Z.
good transformation, then fucking, I don't know. I genuinely don't know what I would do with someone who's like, I'm all about transformations, and I sit down and say, right, how are we different? Because when I meet some of these people, they're sound. They are sound. They want to help people. In their eyes, that's them helping people. So,
Well, we know people that are like, they'll get new followers and they actually see that as like pound coins,
I know.
like potential pound coins, you know what I mean? And there's people that are in gyms that will see new clients as an induction, and it's like they put a genuine pressure on themselves to be like, there's a pound coin above their head, when it's a potential, like, whereas you're just seeing it as, this is a human, I'm going to be sound to this human.
So same in the sales calls as it is in somebody, you walking up to somebody, they're a human being at the end of the day. If they want to come to you as a client one day, that's that.
So I think like the last piece on picking a gym and choosing a gym, there's a part like how do you land that interview, or how do you land that place? Like you need to be
or just
ballsy.
even like no, but why do you choose like what gyms?
So
because he's in JD now. What, like, let's talk about why he went.
Well, you
there.
need to think about it. If your ratio, like, people in public gyms will be looking for personal trainers. It might not be your ideal client or your niche client, but guess what? You don't know what that looks like at the start. You might think you've got it, and you start training them. You're like, this isn't the client I want to I want to pick.
No.
But what that does is expose you to all these different types of people, movement patterns, all that sort of things. You're better in a big box gym with that because you have a footfall of 5,000, 6,000 members. Whereas small box gyms are relatively good. Small box gyms will be about 1,000 members. Gym 24, I honestly believe, was the exception. They're killing it for the category of gyms that they fit into in the comparison. But like a new age, you're like the Cumbernauld Fitness one, I think they're
Limitless.
Limitless,
like 800 members. I don't know what JP's is like. So there's
600.
Again,
These are just random gyms in Lanarkshire.
yeah. So picking it, and if you're picking a gym that's like very niched for powerlifting and bodybuilding, is that the clientele? If they get the clientele in there, that's where a pure gym and a JD,
And also, how many good powerlifters
Well-
want a like really one-on-one coach all the time?
or a new PT.
Aye.
Aye, they're looking at you and going, no chance.
Yeah, because there's arrogance.
Aye,
They're like,
absolutely.
I'm better than them and
Aye,
I'm
aye.
a PT. So you're looking for average population, and average population will go to your JDs and pure gyms. I would stay away from Nuffield, David Lloyd's and Virgin Active because you are salaried as a PT. And yes, you might get experience PTing. They control the clients you do, the hours you do, and you don't really get to experience the true beauty of becoming your own personal trainer and your own brand.
Yeah.
I got a user better versed in different gyms than me, so I agree.
So getting the gym,
But then getting the gym and then the rent.
because the rent you need to understand. When we had this conversation last time, I think there's maybe a few people that would do well just doing hours in a gym and running the classes and getting in the environment, but they're gonna. I honestly think you're better to pay the rent. It may seem expensive.
As soon as you can.
I think you should.
As soon as you can.
You done 6 months on the classes. This is only, and like we've all made mistakes, right? See, when you done the classes in Gym 24, and I was like, stop doing, like, do you know what I mean? But you were kind of roped into them. But then in JD, that's probably like one of your mistakes. I think you had it in you you didn't have that much self belief in yourself to go in JD and pay rent straight away, did you?
No, I did, but they don't allow it.
Oh, do they not?
No.
That's
See, that's a massive problem as well. So what, did you need to do a certain amount of time?
Aye, 3 months.
It's like a probation period.
How long did you do?
I done 4 months all in.
Right, okay.
So you need
Right,
to
I
think,
get it, that's fair.
Here, by the way, longest 4 months of my life.
oh, it will. But
So all in all, I'm nearly a year and a half of coaching, and I've done 10 months worth of classes. And I'll tell you right now, if MD's listening, so I'm 2 months as a full-time PT. When I come up here, wrong time, right? I had too much shit going on in my life, right? If you get shit going on in your life, PT is very difficult. Very fucking difficult. In the last 2 months,
Single.
Stay fucking single. Oh, aye, for different reasons. Anyway.
I'm not saying that I am now.
I was going to say, you fucked up.
Hey, listen.
Clip that, send that to
You dirty dog.
Hey, listen. I'm talking about like newly. Like, I'm well qualified and I'm allowed.
Gavin, shut up. Shut up.
I really like her.
Shut the fuck up. Yeah, fucking. So 2 months, I've been a full-time PT now, right? Like, and I actually forgot this the other day when I was looking at how many like clients I've got, how many people want to start in January, how many people are looking to, like, how many people I've got on for free, how many people are enjoying it. And I look back 2 months, 3 months ago, and it wasn't like that. And I go, whoa, man, I've changes like that. You have 12 hours extra a week, but it's no 12 hours extra because the shifts that gyms give you are fucking shite. Then they know that. They know that. You need to do, in most gyms, you'll need to do a late shift or an early shift and a middle shift. That's usually.
Aye, somebody needs to open the club, somebody needs to close.
And they
part and parcel.
That's just how it goes.
It's also, even in general, like PTing in general, like and then busy times in gyms, we won't get into this, right? But you live the opposite lifestyle to everyone else.
Aye.
You
feel that?
As a business owner as well, or just as in your mental capacity, I think it's not something to talk about in your first year or two, because just fucking do whatever you can.
Hustle, there's a hustle.
But down the line, you're trying to like stop living the opposite lifestyle to everyone else. You're trying to not be getting up at 5 and going to bed at 11 because you've got clients in the morning and clients at night. You're trying to live a normal lifestyle, otherwise you'll burn out and lose the plot. But at the start, do them all, man.
Aye, but the thing is, if you can get on the rent as soon as possible, you'll see, as long as you're ready to work, like, as long as you go, I'm ready to put in the extra hours that we're going to be working anyway, getting into your business. And the problem that I probably look at and go, sometimes you think you're no working on your business, But by simply you working on being better,
Listening to another podcast, reading a book, you're educating yourself.
you're educating yourself. So when a client comes to you with a problem, you go, fuck, I'm in a better mental state to reply to them. And every time you're in a better mental state to reply to a client, you know you've gave them a good reply, they give you a good response, and that gives you motivation to be a better coach. And then you become really good really quickly. Now, if you're doing 4 hours in a gym, right, and you're cleaning treadmills, and that is fucking brutal. It's fucking shite, right? And I'm not the only one that thinks that, but I'm shite at cleaning as it is, right? So it really depressed me. But I'll speak to all of them up there, and they all hate it, right? There's no many people like it. So you don't just spend 4 hours, 5 hours, but some of them are still 5 hour shifts. You don't spend 5 hours in a gym. You spend 5 hours demotivating yourself to work in your business. You finish the 5 hours and go, I actually can't be fucked. Because in the hours in the gym, you want to speak to people to take your mind off the shift you're doing.
Yeah.
So you actually end up wasting your energy because you have a laugh because you go, I need to, like, see, like we talk about eating dopamine and all that. You go, I fucking don't want to do this. Have a laugh, and then you're burnt out. 5 hours, you're burnt out because every time I went in there, I knew I was wasting so much valuable time. So as soon as I left, I'm like, I'm just wasting time here.
I think
frustrated.
we won't talk about it too much, right? But I think if you go in somewhere like that and you have to do classes and all that, there's a wee bit of value in doing some classes, but give yourself a cap, man, like 3 months. If you're in there, if you've been in there for a year and you're still paying 12 hours and you're not willing to take that jump,
Changes your life.
Also,
as a coach,
you're holding yourself back so much. Like you said, you're just mentally compromised the full time by not having those hours.
It's the money side of things, but what you need to see that it opens up a bigger kind of funnel in capacity to train people. So your gym rents are, you're lucky, small box gyms you might get away with like 350, 400, 450. Corporate style is 500 to 650, right?
Yeah.
So let's average it. Let's say it's £500. The average PT session will be charged at 30 quid, would you say? 35?
35.
Just start at 30.
30, right? So doing the math on that, over the course of the month, it means if you can get 16 paid PT sessions, you've covered that, right?
Aye.
Over the course the week, if it's a 4 week month, it's
I start 16 sessions in a month and you paid your rent.
4 PT sessions a week, right? So then you're like, right, so you start doing the math in that. Would you rather trade the 4 PT sessions where you're learning the skill of the trade, you're getting better at your craft, you're enjoying what you're fucking doing, and you're finding out who you are as a PT?
And you've got your own time.
Aye, and you get to go, I'm going to do 8 o'clock or I'm going to do 8 or whatever. You're not controlled by
on your terms
for something else.
So I think one last thing to get into. Oh no, one last thing. I don't even know. But I was speaking to somebody last night, and I think that's a terrible way to do your sessions. He's like, "Oh, I've got something at 10:30 today, at night," and I was like, "Right." He's like, "It's the only time he could make it. It's his third session of the week." And I just said to him, I was like, "What time?
What that's worth?
What time do you go to bed?" And he's like, "About 10." I'm like, "So you're staying up to 11:30. By the time you get home, it's got to be 12 for one session for one person."
Boundaries.
Boundaries.
Aye.
Aye.
No
So-
sessions at that time.
On my first year, I didn't care.
Aye.
I took sessions at 4:45
Is
in the
this
morning.
guy a new PT though?
No.
So
Aye, so
different.
as you're learning, like at the start, like you want to hustle because it might be that you like getting those sessions out the way and they're done. Like
Aye.
out the way in the sense of you like the freedom of having
Aye, the rest of your day.
The rest of the day. You might be a late bird who likes fucking training people.
But
late night.
find out where you like, because you're not going to be a good coach if you're working with the hours you don't like.
Because I would give him a shit session.
Aye, that's what I was
And
going to
also
say.
then the next day,
Half 10, I don't give a fuck. I am no getting MD a good session at 10:30 at night, even if I try
Also, I would end up being raging about it.
the next day. So would I. I'm the same. I'm that kind of person. You need to know who you are.
I know that I've only got 5 good hours of work in me a day. The rest of it's shite. So it has to come in that window or there's no point.
You're gone skis.
Aye.
So yeah, you got your rent, you got your setup. So you're starting to think, right, how the fuck do I get 4 paying clients a week? You need to think as well, most people that will sign up to PT at that rate, the 30 quid an hour, probably want 2 sessions a week from you.
Aye.
2 clients. That's all you're asking. 2 clients is going to cover your rent. So you start thinking to yourself, this is doable and this is something that I'm ready to make the step towards. So
the other things we were going to talk about,
strategies.
right, just because I'm going to let you go, right, with software, let's scrap that for today.
aye, we'll not go on.
And
we'll go on to
then
next
the
one.
other one was in-person versus online. Let's scrap that for today. How do we get these clients?
Aye, so free. So and there's a couple of ways of doing it. What worked really well for me was I was always thinking about my reputation, my brand. So as soon as you go full rent, if you fall into the trap, which I've seen so many PTs do,
you just do nothing.
I'm just going to show up to the gym when I've got PT sessions, and I'd see them. I'm like, you're only in here 3 hours a week. Your wee pictures on the wall that you're a personal trainer, but there's 200 to 300 people coming into this gym every week, and you get, some of them are seeing you for a little amount of time. I've got clients who train at the gym I used to work in, and they're like, never see him. And I was like, he's definitely still a PT there. So that's not a good way to think. You always want to be in that gym, and you either fill it with your free time, or you fill it with doing something, whether you're recording videos or just being there.
Right.
By the way, even just filming videos in the gym, and like,
because people are like, who's that guy? What's he done?
Yeah, because so if you're the only, because by the way, you might be the only person in the gym that's doing it. Probably, see if there's 10 PTs, like in the last one, me and Cuba, only people filming videos. People would see my videos, go, that's that boy in that gym. I've never spoke to him, but I see him all the time, try to film videos. My videos were always like tutorials and stuff when I was working in that gym. So like people in the were like, I seen you do that Romanian deadlift, and you helped me, and because I watched the video. And I was like, right, like even that, just they seeing me filming the videos was
because what you're doing as well, you're starting to build your social media,
and that's a brand. Like I work in this gym, you work in JD, you were Gym 24. I knew who used to work, and I knew exactly what gym you worked in. I knew you were both gonna. Well, you just started, but I knew you worked in that gym, and I knew you were the only people that were like doing videos in that.
Well,
so even out with the gym, I knew about you.
That's how we met, because it was like, I don't want to say like I set the scene for like videoing in the gym, but that definitely put me out there more, because then people are like, oh, he's making another demonstration video, or he's recording his workouts again. James came in, he started doing it, and I was like, here, you want to make videos there? And we just had a laugh with it, we enjoyed it, we made it fun. I remember that first time videoing in front of the busy gym, like, and I was like, fuck it, we're making a funny video today. And we went in, and people would laugh with us and they'd engage with us, and it kind of, as people start getting to know who you are and they start following you, people won't make a buying decision for like 2 to 3 months.
Aye.
So it's not you see them once and it was like, that's the PT.
And the thing is, they might make it 2 years later, a year and a half later, a year later.
You're playing the long game.
If you're consistently being in the gym, filming content, and again, with filming content, you're learning every single time. It's like having a new client. You're making a video and you're like, no, in fact, you don't do this. If you're making the video and you're like, no, that's fucking stupid.
You have no idea the subconscious impact that has on someone constantly seeing you there, watching your watching your videos. They might learn 2 things from your videos. Then they watch you train a client. You're getting on with your client. You're actually interested in your client. You're showing them what to do. That, mate, that's marketing. Laugh. You're not even trying. You're just doing your job.
I've got one client who started me with day one, and I threw a 15-minute video up on Instagram. Right, think about that for a sec. I've done a 15-minute introduction video, and I was like, "Hi, I'm Dale Crosser," and I just rambled for 15 minutes. And one person in Gym 24 saw that, and he walked up to me the next day and introduced him. It's Andy. And Andy's been with me for 2.5 years, right? And I think you think about the monetary value with that. Is one hand is you're like, fucking hell. But then on the other side of that, that's a long-term client. It's like, you don't realise the impact of these little small things without even trying. I was just like, people don't know who I am. I'm going to introduce myself. So filling your time, being on the floor, you're always a walking billboard. So if you're caught once sitting down with a cup of coffee and you're kind of lackadaisical, if you're training someone, that sends a bad reputation out there. And once that's out there, very hard.
That's true, aye.
So free session strategy is the way to go, in my opinion. You tried it.
How did you do it?
So for me,
or do you want to talk about him?
I was going to say it's probably worth talking about because it's not just a matter of doing what I say and it's all fucking hunky dory.
It's like me as well with the social media app, mate. I know that I'm like 1 out of
So I think as you're posting to your social media, you're sort of getting comfortable with the camera. So I done about a month and a half of posting every day and just getting used to like talking to my stories and who I was.
See, that's what I mean about me. I'd spoke to a camera before, so see, speaking to a camera, PTing, I didn't have any anxiety. Like I could do it straight. I wasn't like as good as I am now, but I honestly was like that. Fine, that sound. Whereas you are having to learn that.
I'd done Twitch gaming, mind. So I was.
No, used to had quite a good base of speaking to people and like
communication.
Communication.
That's what you're working out. So what I decided to do, I don't know where this came from. I don't even think it was like Jason Phillips stuff, because I joined a mentorship at this point right at the start of my PT journey, thinking that was the best thing for me.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was getting asked questions like, who's your niche client? And I was like, I don't know.
Fuck knows.
And I was like, you know what? Luckily, having the self-awareness to go, this isn't the right time for me.
No.
I just need to get experience on the gym floor. And I thought to myself, right, done a couple of classes now. How do I get people wanting to work with me? And then I thought to myself, well, I've got 10 hours free in the day when I'm not really PTing anyone.
Aye.
And I thought, you know what? I'm just going to see who wants to PT. Because if people keep seeing me PTing, then people will want to work with me. And I'm filling my time doing something that I want to do anyway. So I threw up a competition and I just thought, fuck it, I'll train somebody for free for a year. I was like, anyone that's interested in PTs, part of joining Gym 24, I want to do something special in January. You get to train with me for free for a whole year. And I said unlimited sessions. And I put it in there. I was like, if you want to train 5 days a week, we'll be in 5 days a week. But the likelihood, I knew that wasn't the case. That was the market.
Please say two. Please say two.
All right,
No,
please say one.
Even if they wanted to see me 5, I would show them that they don't need 5, if that makes sense. So the person that won it, we done 2 a week, and then we done 3 a week sometime. Then we winded that off. But what that done, that got like 70 shares. I think it was about 120 likes on the post. And I drew the winner, and I ended up picking 2 people, and one person ended up just moving on anyway. So I was like, right, cool. Got one free person, but I didn't stop there, because what I thought was, if I'm throwing out free PT, I wasn't saying you win £100 or you win a holiday, because that's no, like, people would just enter that for
the sake of the
winning
holiday,
a
aye.
All it was free PT. So I thought, this is 100 people that are potentially interested in PT. I was like, fuck it, let me just message them. Now, the mistake I made, I messaged 40 people at one time. I was like, hey, really appreciate you entering into the competition. Fortunately, you didn't win, but I wanted to do something for you anyway. I'm not, like, in January, everybody's always looking for something. Happy to PT for the next 3 weeks for free. So it was like the first week in January. And people were replying like, is this a bot message? Is this that? And I was like, no, it's actually me. And they're like, what's the catch? No catch. All I asked for some honest feedback at the end of it. And if you're happy to write a testimonial, then great. But there's no pressure. I want to kind of get better at my craft. Done that. I think 16 of them that replied initially filled my books instantly, and that was it. And the fucking shit thing about this whole story is the other, like, 14 people or 24 people that I had messaged were like, yeah, I'm interested. And I was like, sorry, I'm actually not getting any space just now. I'll do it in February with you, thinking these people are going to fall off. Every single one of them, I want a PT with you.
Aye.
And then I panicked, and I was like, I don't know what to charge now. I was like, fuck it, what, 35 quid a session. They're like, cool, done, that's a bargain. I'm like, holy shit.
Aye.
February books are full. So I'm saying to the people in February, sorry, I'm still really full, do it in March. And then I'd see them in the gym, and then it was this whole awkwardness, but I just had to hold my hands up and say, look, if I get time to do other free sessions, I'll do it. But I didn't have to do that from January moving forward, which was the most bizarre thing that I fucking
So what I'll say to that is, that's good if you're already pretty good. Me going into the gym, I'm shite.
Do you think social skills more?
Social skills and just learning how to teach people how to lift first, because you had a little bit of experience. You knew people coming in, how you were going to do it. I had no fucking idea.
I think it's important to say I'd taught kids freestyle for like 2 or 3 years.
I had to talk Andy.
I think I picked a lot up from that, because I was 5
in a corporate environment.
You had the behavioural skills and the lifting skills already. I had none. See, if I'd done that too soon, I'd have got way too overwhelmed. I'd have took people on, I'd have gave them a shite service, and I probably could have possibly ruined my reputation quite quickly.
Aye, because you end up delivering. So this is that, reflecting back on that, I think there is a bit of, like you said, we've got a wee bit more history and experience. If I had to redo that again, cap it at 5.
Aye.
Cap it at 3, actually.
I took 10 people on the other day.
But just
for a full 4 weeks.
That's a lot.
Why? And I took 2 people unpaid. 12 people 1 week. What a fucking week. I ended up burning out. You got no well, and then I got no well. And the only reason I got it,
I'm not well.
I've got the cold as well.
Guys,
but like, it's so intense. So the thing is, like, you could have done the system of, I'll take 5 on the new, and then 2 weeks later, you get on the waiting list. You send them out a wee email or whatever. By the way, I am ready to take you on if you're still up for it, and you get more people in. And the 40 people that you had could have been, you could have got them all in if you done it like a slower process. Nah, I could have done 5, no burnt out, and then done another 5 in 2 weeks and been all right.
Yeah.
Like there's limits to the game.
I went back to February. I had my first week in February. I had 56 sessions booked in for my first week, and now we're paid and free. So
That gives me the fear.
so
that's
when
a
you
lot.
think about it, I was ready to double down and hustle, and that would never have lasted any longer than what it did right up to my honeymoon. Redoing that again, I would definitely cap it at 3 and phase them, because as an onboarding process, you don't really think about your first session with everybody. Like, what does that look like?
Different.
I had a structure, because I was like, right, every person's first session is an assessment of their movement.
Yeah.
How do they squat? How do they press overhead? How do they bend over? Because that's how I'm going to train people with those movements. And it's like, right, cool. I'm now going to build you a program off the back of that.
Yeah.
And then I built one program, and I was almost recycling the same structure of that program, but then finding out, and I was like, all right, fuck, somebody can't actually hold the barbell. And I was doing my research, like, okay, a single leg step up might be the right.
Well, see, even if you do, say if you done that and you were doing two of them a day, say, because see, when I was doing them, I would just sit after it and be like, think about my free session and actually what the structure of it, and like, so I was always try to teach them one big movement, also do a bit of mobility with them at the start, and then like if they couldn't do something, I would focus on that for like 10 to 15 minutes, not just put them on machines or whatever, try to get them to do something they would never be able to do but on their own. That's what I was coming at it. But if you actually think about the free session itself, that's your opportunity to learn as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Like that's the way I always viewed
in the
it.
sense of there's no money, but you get so
Transactional
much value.
knowledge.
It's free
So
learning
much
for
value.
you. It's not think
You
of
win
it.
out of that.
Yeah.
So and the client wins.
If
but
they don't
win
come in, you
late.
don't learn.
Aye. Because like you said, you leave that session and I was saying, like, being on the gym floor is good. And this is where another one where you're like, right, cool, that client's away. I've got 4 hours. I could go home. Or you know what, I'm going to look up this YouTube video because I've never done a single leg step up. And you're looking at it and you're trying that exercise in the gym. Somebody's then watching you. It's like, that's a PT there. Like, what's he doing there? He's learning that skill. He's actually taking time to.
I've done that so many
understand it.
times,
Aye.
by the way. Watch a YouTube video and then talk myself out, do something, go, right, I'm going to teach a client how to do that.
Yeah, that's the game. That's
See,
and that's why when you look at mentorships in a way, like you are paying for an experience. You're paying for, right, okay, there's somebody who made it. They're going to teach me all the tricks of the trade, and you get roped into that fucking network.
Right,
in
what's
a sense.
another way that you can, because so I didn't do this
get
much,
clients.
but I'm just thinking of, well, no, free sessions even. So I was thinking about, say I get through into a gym tomorrow, no social media or whatever, what would I do if that never worked? And I think even just approaching people and going, look, I'm quite new, but I'm confident that I can help people. I just want to do a free session with you, and I'll teach you how to, like, can you deadlift? And go, nah, right. I was like, right, we'll just learn how to deadlift. You don't need to give me anything, nothing at all. And if you like it, then we'll maybe do another one. And see if they say no. Sound right? Thank you, mate. Do you know anyone? No, please leave me alone. I'm trying to fucking squat here. And I'm like, okay, I'll leave you alone. And then just like, you don't even need to do it straight away. You don't want to be seen as annoying people, but like someone else just comes in the gym, like, how long you been lifting? 6 months. Do you know what you're doing? No, I'm new. Can I help you for an hour? I don't want anything off you in return.
Yeah.
But that's where I like the class environment, because that's what I've done. I got lucky. I didn't do many classes, but I wanted to put myself in that environment to get in front of like a bunch of people. I said, and I remember somebody asked me like, how often should we do spin a week? And I was like, 0. And they're like, but you're teaching it. I was like, you'll get more out of spin if you strength train out there. And then people were like, oh, I don't know how to do that. And I was like, there's somebody I can take on for free. Like, I was like, let me show you when you're next free. And I'd message them. I'd engage with a lot of people that followed the gym on social media. Anyone that was liking my video, replying, thanks for liking that. If they commented, what did you like about that? But there's so much that you can do in terms of strategies.
So going straight after that.
That's what I mean. You're not going, oh, let me train you for free. You're just going, how's it going? Yeah, okay. It's like, I don't really like lifting weights up there. How comes? It's quite intimidating.
What's intimidating about it? Like, what do you want to learn? All right, okay, here, come on with me. I'll show you that it's fine.
When are you next in? And you work around them.
The real reason that they go to you for that spin class, and I got a few people who spin classes, but it's also good to say, like you say, if you're not in the gym, go and train in the gym. I know training in the gym you work in is no fantastic. You'd rather train in our gym, but people see you and go, oh, there's that PT training. Oh fuck, he's quite strong. That's quite good technique. But what happens in the spin class is he's in the spin class getting a good spin class, right? And you're like, fuck, this guy's good. I respect him, right? He's a PT in the gym. I've seen him out there. I've seen him in his spin class. So this is a good thing. And they see and go, he's good, right? Instantaneously, don't even know if you're a good PT. You could be the fucking shittiest PT in the planet, but instantaneously, you've given a good, what's the word?
Service, like
No service, like good impression.
Two dyslexic
Good.
men.
Aye. But they go, right, so they've seen you, they did really well, and then you've went, here's what I actually think, and they go, instantaneously they believe you, right? So you went, I would rather you strength train, right? Show me how to strength train, and then that's how you get a good client, because they've seen you, they've respected you for day one, right? So that's how you should be training in the same gym you work in at the start. You should be training in there so everybody sees you as much as possible. Not just walking about, not just talking, training.
Aye.
They need to see you training.
A lot of PTs in the gym I worked in didn't train, man.
No.
Like, didn't train full stop.
You want to get a good client, though. You want a client to see
But
you
I think
doing
a
well.
lot of PTs that'll listen to this aren't the type of people that are just like half-arsing it, if you know what I mean.
No,
Why would they listen?
You're maybe at the point where you're getting frustrated because you're not picking up clients. But that's where the next conversation, the follow-up episode, talking about making the leap to online and how to like pivot that successfully and things to consider, because it's not a fucking hunky dory.
So I'll go. I had a consultation call the other day, and the girl never the coach before. So after the call, like, see, like, reflecting. So this is what I done. Like, I said I'd gear 2 sessions for free. But they 2 sessions, when I came off the phone, I was like, they 2 sessions tell me nothing. So I'm actually going to text her today, because she says she'll get back to me Friday. But that also gave me time to reflect and go, like, we were talking about sales calls and how you don't want to have a sales pitch, but you want to learn how to sell your product better.
Call it a sales call.
No, that's called a consultation call. Consultation call. So I just asked them about everything. I just tell me fucking everything. But what I'm going to message her and go, by the way, look, I'll give you the first 4 weeks as a trial for free. End of the first 4 weeks, you can pay for the 12 weeks, or I'll just take you off everything. You don't need to pay anything. I just want you to say how the service was, so I can make the service better, because that's a genuine mate. If she says no at the end of 4 weeks, I'm not going to say you're a fucking dick.
And you can also go, is there maybe something I could have done better?
Exactly.
Don't take it as
exactly.
Take it to heart.
So the thing you used to do, and I don't do it anymore, but I did do it a wee bit. But I didn't enjoy it. The guarantee, I still do a 4 week guarantee, but I don't do a full guarantee. But I think the guarantee is a fucking great way to do it, because it sets you apart from every other coach in the gym. Because no other coach will go, by the way, see if you don't like my service and we don't give you what you're getting. But with the guarantee, you need to get a good, you need to, in your consultation, you need to let them know exactly the service that you give. Because if you oversell on the service and then you guarantee them that, they go, that's not what you told me.
Guarantees are interesting. They're getting more popular because they like Hormozzi's new stuff.
Yeah.
But nobody was doing that right at the start, and I was like, fuck it,
I'll do it.
Throwing up a guarantee.
Aye.
I was like, I'm maybe not confident in delivering, but if I set expectations that I'm gonna,
you instantaneously tell yourself as a coach, I've guaranteed you that. I need to try and get it. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes you might go, I've guaranteed them too much, but that's not a bad thing, because you're still going to learn.
That's where the learning is.
Right.
Yeah. So there's tons to break down. There's tons to go into, but
right. We'll leave it
that's
there.
That's a good part one.
3 sessions and bit of rants, some rants.
That was good.
But that was enjoyable. Next time we'll go through like online coaching, maybe some software to use and
just
all
double
that.
check.
No, I've been watching it. Don't worry.
So can't have a repeat of last time.
Aye.
Anyway, we'll end it there. I'll quickly do an intro just now.
Aye, go for it.
And then check out their 2 podcasts. Well, in fact, no, I'll actually
Bulletproof Mindset _ on Instagram as well.
Thank you very much. Goodbye.